kind of a new announcement. Well, it's kind of a new announcement, but it's something we've been doing for a while. But we've created a new program at Functional Fitness. I like to call it Weight Watchers, but improved. Okay.
That's like, you're gonna get totally in trouble for that.
Maybe, but it's a similar concept. And so we know certain things work with any type of, when someone's trying to be successful, especially with weight loss, we know a few things work. One thing that works is accountability. So when someone is accountable to someone else and they have regular check-ins, they typically do much better. So we have that piece of it. Another piece that I think Weight Watchers misses, and they've only recently caught up to this, is the coaching aspect. And so having a coach, which kind of comes in with accountability, but having a coach that is actively helping you through the process, so someone that helps you be successful. And the thing that I don't think Weight Watchers did really well, especially at the beginning, they've kind of moved towards it now, but an education process. So we're actually like teaching you why you're doing something and how to do it better, and really creating it like a learning experience rather than just like count points.
Yeah, so we'll be including a lifestyle portion to this, so lifestyle things that you need to be doing for long-term success. Along with that, we will not be counting points. We will be talking about what we're eating, quality of food, quantity of food, that kind of stuff, like on our weekly accountability calls that we'll be doing. But it's not just about like, how many points did you eat yesterday?
Right.
Because that isn't really how we think of food. We want to create a good relationship with food, and I believe that counting just long-term does not support like the lifestyle you really want.
Because
if
really,
you're going
who wants to
count, yeah, and then you like, but then if you that's the only way you know to be successful is to count.
Right.
How does Thanksgiving work?
Oh
my gosh,
it's all the points. So the working name for it right now is Fat Loss Forever, and which I think is a great name. And if anyone can come up with a better name,
we would love to hear it.
We would love to hear it, and maybe you'll get something special if you
come up with a better name than what Trevor has.
And that, by the way, it's going to be a hard task because Fat Loss Forever is a pretty good name.
It's the best one he's come up with so far.
Fits in with the whole like FF and
we want to lose it. We don't just want to lose it and gain it back. Right, we want to lose it forever.
So
I mean,
it's about so right, exactly.
It's
it all
makes
sense.
So
so we're going to be launching that. Actually, we're going to be launching it on Monday, but someone could join the program at any time. It is completely virtual, so you don't have to be a member at Functional Fitness. You don't have to train here. You can be anywhere in the world. And we're going to have an initial commitment up front of about 3 months, just because we need to make sure that you're successful. And then after that, you can choose if it's something that's serving you. Perfect, keep going. If it's not, no big deal. But we've basically set out a curriculum on what you're going to work through. And then in addition to having the education, you're going to have daily accountability. So every day you're checking in, did you do it or didn't you do it? Because ultimately, like, that's the most important piece, is actually following through. Information is great, and too many times we like to just consume more information thinking we're making progress, but taking action on the information is really where the magic is made. And so we've got that, we've got the daily accountability, and then we've got the weekly coaching call with Ashley. So we have a specific time. It is Tuesdays, I believe, at 12:35 is when the call will be at every week. So this is like your weekly check-in with the group. And so anyone can call in. It's going to be a Zoom call, so you can be virtual if you want. Show your face.
No, you need to be virtual. Like,
Sure.
I'm not going to meet with you in person
Sure.
for this call. So everyone, if you want to be live on this call, you have to call in. You can show me your face, or you can be a stick figure.
So you can do the FaceTime thing if you want for the call. And basically, it's an opportunity to ask questions. We have a set of things that will be kind of helping you work through. But it's going to be more of a group setting, so you get that social accountability as well. And then, what am I missing? So we've got the education, the weekly accountability,
The daily check-ins.
the daily check-ins.
I think we covered all the stuff that's part of it, but we are going to be offering like an add-on service if you want to have a monthly sit-down one-on-one with me that elevates your thing to our, like, what did we call that? The silver level?
Level 2, yeah.
Level 2. So you can have a monthly in-person meeting with...
And in-person could be virtual, or it could be...
it'd be a one-on-one.
A one-on-one meeting.
One-on-one
really
coaching.
Look at your specific scenarios or what you might have going on. And so one of the reasons that we launched this was one-on-one coaching can be really expensive. So if you are working with a coach one-on-one, because you're one-on-one, there's no scale there, and so it has to be very expensive. And so this is a way for us to price nutrition coaching at a price that really anyone can afford and anyone can do to be successful. And so that's one of the reasons we're launching it.
So this is a build on our Fat Loss Fundamentals class, and we've run this a few times, and it was very, very successful. The clients that have done it have kept and have done 80% or better, have lost the weight and kept it off. But to keep progressing and keep moving forward, we want to offer you the ability to keep moving forward based on where you're at. So we have a curriculum you're going to be following, but as you progress and you move, the curriculum is going to be being molded to you and where you're at in your journey. So like for someone that's more advanced, we will go through the first part of the curriculum, and then you'll move into maybe macro counting or some specific diet style, maybe low carb, high carb days, just to to metabolically challenge your body by changing how you're eating, but also to support you in your goals and where you are nutritionally. For some people, just removing processed food is the place to start. But if you've already gotten to that point, what do we need to do now? What's the next step? And that's what we'll be doing in a group setting, yet still personalized.
Yeah. So it's just a really cool concept, and like Weight Watchers is kind of the closest analogy that most people know of. And so it's a similar concept, but done differently, and I think done more personally. For someone, and really teaching them the skills they need to be successful forever, hence the name Fat Loss Forever. Ultimately that's what it's about, is weight loss very similar to any other thing or anything that you would learn as a skill. And so there's certain things that you need to do regularly, and things you need to practice. So some of us aren't very good at them, and that's okay, because we don't live in a world that makes it easy. We live in a world that makes it very challenging to be healthy, and so you need to develop certain skills that allow you to navigate that world and not rely so much on willpower to do that.
So, and I think that goes into, like, a lot of times people tell me, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. And I think sometimes maybe we think we know because this is what we've been told in the past, but the nutrition information that we have now is very different than what it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. So you are going to be getting up-to-date information. What would know works.
What would be a good example of nutrition information that's changed over the last 10 or 15 years? I have a good one, but I want to know if you have any one off the top of your head.
Carbs are bad.
Yeah.
Fat is bad.
Right. So
you can pick a macronutrient and everyone has been bad. Even protein has been bad at some point.
Or even eggs, right? Eggs, too many eggs. You can only have one egg a day because your cholesterol.
If you are only eating one egg at breakfast, you are hungry.
Right. So
Ezra eats more than one egg, guys.
And your arteries aren't going to clog because of all the cholesterol that you intake.
Actually, the truth is, women should actually have a higher cholesterol than what we even redeem as normal these days, because women with too low of cholesterol are actually more likely to die earlier.
Is that because of synthesizing of hormones?
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, I think a lot of it stems from women in that age range, over 60, went through low fat, no fat diets. So they're actually having a harder time going through aging and hormone stuff because they've lived on a low fat diet and their hormones are whack.
So fat is important for your hormones.
Oh, so important. And for women that want to lose weight and are struggling and you're not getting enough fat, your hormones are going to be out of whack. You're going to be struggling with weight loss, sleep, energy levels, all of those kind of things.
Good stuff. So we're launching that, and it's going to be something that is continuing on, and people can join at any time. And so if you're interested in it all, just send us a message, and we can shoot over some more information. And I think one thing that's maybe different about this than other of the mainstream programs is you actually have a coach, that you know. And
you don't even know me. You don't know you don't even know the stuff.
and B, actually following through with progress. So one of the reasons why we have daily check-ins is, as coaches, we can see the daily check-ins.
Oh, we also forgot about the weekly weigh-in portion of it.
Oh, right, yeah. So one of the reasons we have the daily check-ins is, so as coaches, we actually have a dashboard for our clients, and we can see how they're doing. And so that allows us to see when you're maybe starting to trend in the wrong direction, so then we can intervene and help you get back on track. rather than waiting until you tell us, or maybe you don't tell us and all of a sudden you fall off and we kind of wonder why. We have a dashboard that allows us to see that, and that's, I think, something that's maybe a little bit different about this as well. And then the other thing that we're adding to this is a weekly weigh-in. So I think it's really important to just kind of have a scorecard in a way. Like, are you moving in the direction that you want to move in? And the scale is one way that we can do that. It's probably not the best way, but sometimes that's all we have access to. If a client's virtual, we'll probably be having them do like a waist circumference or something like that as well, so we can look at that.
I think I know that weighing in every week isn't fun. It's not joyous, but like maybe you're marking yes that you're doing these habits, but like we could be on I can decide, okay, you're marking yes, let's talk about some other things. There might be some other factors we need to dig into. And instead of like week after week, yeah, you're doing great, but you're not losing any weight, then we're missing where you should be and what we need to be focusing on.
Right.
So like I can better serve you to get you the results you're looking for.
Right. And so the weekly weigh-in just kind of helps keep things on track. And really it's just a way for us to make sure that things are moving in the direction that you want. And also it kind of holds people a little bit more accountable to making good decisions, because you know that, like, all right, I got to do this. But there's also a flip side of this, is probably there's some people that shouldn't do it because it creates like a mental instability with it. And so that stuff needs to be worked through as well. So you kind of have to know your own personality from that. But from our experience in working with people, that's for most people, it can be a really good strategy to just like, basically it's your gauge. Like, all right, are you on track or off track? Do I need to adjust a few things?
Was I being honest with myself or was I not? And I think sometimes we are not as honest with ourselves as we want to be.
100%.
And like, it's okay, but that is going to tell us, oh, maybe I went too far this week.
Right. And then the cool thing about doing it weekly is you can kind of auto adjust, right? And so
we're not doing this 6-week weigh-in between every single semi-private that you do. We're checking in like, well, for 6 weeks, maybe you've been off for 6 weeks. Oh, well, that could be a big miss. That could be 6 pounds up. Whereas if you weigh in every week and we notice we're up a pound, well, that's an easy autocorrect right there to get it back down.
You can look at the trends a lot quicker and course correct if needed with that. So if you're interested in fat loss forever, let us know. Shoot us a message. And what do you think it is? Is it the alliteration?
I think it's fun. I think it might stick.
Unless
you're, it's all fun and games.
Having so much fun here.